When it comes to firearms, the gun itself often steals the spotlight. But here's the truth. Without the right caliber, even the best firearm can't reach its full potential. In 2025, we're seeing a wave of new ammunition, calibers that promise more power, better accuracy, and cleaner shooting. But that raises a big question. Are they really worth the hype and the high price tag? In today's countdown, we're breaking down the top 5 new calibers of 2025, from hidden gems to bold innovations. By the end of this video, you'll know which ones truly deserve your attention, and which ones might just be marketing noise. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button if you love staying up to date with the latest in firearms. Drop a comment below and tell us which new caliber you'd actually want to try. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you never miss our deep dives into the world of guns and ammunition. Number 5 on our list is the .32 H&R Magnum. Kicking things off at number 5 is a caliber that might surprise you. It's not brand new in the strictest sense. This one is more of a comeback story. The .32 H&R Magnum was originally introduced back in the 1980s, designed to give revolver shooters more punch than the traditional .32 long, while still keeping recoil manageable. Fast forward to 2025, and Federal has brought this cartridge back into the spotlight with fresh offerings, including an 85-grain FMJ and the modern Hydra Shock Deep Hollow Point. So why the renewed hype around a caliber many thought had faded into history? Simply put, it fills a unique niche. For revolver enthusiasts who want something light shooting yet still effective for personal defense, the .32 H&R Magnum makes a strong case. It delivers a balance you won't find in .2 LR or even .380 CP. The new Hydra Shock load, in particular, gives this caliber a modern edge, offering proven expansion and penetration to a cartridge that was once largely overlooked. But here's where the debate begins. Compared to more common defensive calibers like 9mm, the .32 H&R Magnum still lags behind in sheer stopping power. On top of that, limited availability, higher ammo costs, and fewer revolver options remain its biggest drawbacks. It's exciting to see this caliber back on store shelves, but is it really worth paying a premium when other options are easier to find and pack more punch? That ultimately depends on what you value: tradition, light recoil, or modern practicality. The verdict: for collectors, revolver fans, and shooters who appreciate a softer shooting defensive option, the return of the .32 H&R Magnum is definitely worth checking out. But for the average shooter looking for the best bang for the buck, it may fall more into the cool niche category rather than a true must-have. At number 4, we're stepping into serious territory with the .338 ARC, a cartridge that's been making waves for its promise of long-range power in a surprisingly compact package. Designed by Hornady, the ARC family was created to bring true precision rifle performance into the AR-15 and AR-10 platforms, and the .338 ARC takes that concept even further. What really sets this caliber apart is its ability to launch heavy, high ballistic coefficient bullets. We're talking about loads like a 307-grain flex-tip subsonic round, all while fitting into semi-automatic rifles that don't require the oversized actions of traditional Magnum cartridges. That means shooters can enjoy extended effective range, flatter trajectories, and excellent energy retention, without the bulk or punishing recoil usually associated with big-bore calibers. But, as with most new ammunition, the hype comes with a price tag. Right now, .338 ARC ammo isn't cheap, and availability is limited to only a handful of manufacturers. You'll also need a rifle chambered specifically for it, which means a bigger investment compared to running tried-and-true options like 6.5 Creedmoor or 7mm calibers. And while its ballistic performance is undeniably impressive, some critics argue that it doesn't offer enough advantage over existing rounds to fully justify the switch. So, is it worth it? If you're the kind of shooter who wants cutting-edge performance, the ability to stretch distance shooting on an AR platform, and you don't mind paying a premium, the .338 ARC delivers on its promises. But if affordability and wide ammo availability matter more to you, classic calibers may still get the job done just as well. In short, the .338 ARC is an exciting innovation. A cartridge that pushes the boundaries of what semi-auto rifles can do. Whether it's a true game-changer or just a high-priced niche round depends entirely on your shooting priorities. Coming in at number 3 is the 8.6 Blackout. At number 3, we have a caliber that feels like the natural evolution of the beloved .300 Blackout. Designed with subsonic shooting in mind, the 8.6 Blackout takes everything shooters loved about .300 BLK and scales it up, delivering more power, more energy on target, and a more versatile role, especially when paired with suppressors. Developed by Q, the 8.6 Blackout is built around heavy bullets, often in the 285 grain range and above. These projectiles are stabilized by fast twist barrels, maximizing energy transfer and terminal performance. The result is devastating effectiveness at close to medium ranges, all while remaining impressively quiet when suppressed. For hunters, this translates into a highly effective round for game like hogs and deer. For tactical shooters, it's all about controlled, subsonic stopping power with the flexibility of running in compact AR-style rifles. But here's the trade-off: ammunition availability and cost. Unlike .300 Blackout, which has become mainstream and relatively affordable, the 8.6 BLK is still a newer cartridge, with only a limited number of manufacturers producing ammo. That means higher prices and fewer options on store shelves. On top of that, while it delivers massive subsonic energy, it doesn't offer the same long-range versatility as calibers like the .338 ARC. So, is it worth the hype? For enthusiasts who already love suppressed shooting and want the next level of stopping power in a semi-auto platform, absolutely. The 8.6 Blackout is an exciting, hard-hitting round that delivers exactly what it promises, when used in the right scenarios. However, for the average shooter, the steep price and limited ammo supply may make it more of a passion project than a practical, everyday choice. At the end of the day, the 8.6 Blackout earns its place on this list because it shows where suppressed and subsonic innovation is headed. It's bold, powerful, and definitely a caliber to watch in the years ahead. Coming in at number 2 is the .21 Sharp, one of the boldest rimfire innovations to hit the market in years. At number 2, we're looking at a cartridge that immediately sparked conversation across the firearms community. The .21 Sharp was unveiled by Winchester as a modern-day evolution of the .22 long rifle. And right away, it turned heads because it dares to challenge one of the most established, widely used, and affordable calibers in history. So, what exactly makes the .21 Sharp special? It starts with the design. Unlike the .22 LR, which uses a heeled bullet where the projectile is the same diameter as the case, the .21 Sharp features a true copper-jacketed bullet seated fully inside the case. This design choice brings several major benefits. It's cleaner to shoot, significantly reduces barrel fouling, and minimizes lead exposure, an issue that has become increasingly important for modern shooters. In other words, Winchester isn't just reinventing the wheel, they're making it safer and more efficient. Performance-wise, the numbers are impressive. The .21 Sharp launches bullets in the 1,500 to 1,700 feet per second range, noticeably faster than standard .22 LR. That translates into flatter trajectories and improved energy transfer on target. For small game hunters, this means more reliable terminal performance. For target shooters, it results in tighter groups at extended rimfire distances. And for shooters who simply enjoy ringing steel, it delivers a noticeable boost in overall fun factor. Another key part of this story is compatibility. Winchester didn't just introduce a new caliber and leave shooters scrambling. They partnered with Savage Arms to launch rifles such as the Mark II bolt-action and the A22 semi-auto chambered specifically for the .21 Sharp. That means shooters had purpose-built platforms available right from the start. No waiting years for firearm manufacturers to catch up. Of course, this is where the hype versus reality debate begins. The .22 LR is, without question, the king of rimfire. It's cheap, widely available, and versatile enough for plinking, hunting, training, and more. So the natural question is, do we really need the .21 Sharp? For many shooters, the answer is probably no, especially when ammo costs are higher and availability is still limited. On top of that, most people already own rifles or pistols chambered in .22 LR, making it a much easier and more economical round to stick with. But that doesn't mean the .21 Sharp is just a gimmick. Far from it. Think of it as a premium rimfire option. For shooters who want a cleaner, faster, and more efficient cartridge, and who are willing to pay a little extra for those benefits, the .21 Sharp delivers real advantages. Competitive rimfire shooters may find it worth every penny. Hunters looking to maximize rimfire performance may prefer it over .22 LR. And let's be honest, there's always a group of enthusiasts who love being early adopters, eager to try new technology before it goes mainstream. So, is the .21 Sharp worth the hype and the higher price for the casual shooter who just wants to plink tin cans on a Saturday afternoon? Probably not. The .22 LR will always offer more fun per dollar. But for shooters who take rimfire seriously, whether in competition, in the field, or simply as enthusiasts chasing cutting-edge performance, the .21 Sharp delivers meaningful improvements that go well beyond marketing. At the end of the day, Winchester has accomplished something bold. They've reimagined a century-old concept and proven that even the most iconic calibers can evolve. And while it won't dethrone the .22 LR, the .21 Sharp earns its place at number 2 on our list because it represents the future of rimfire. Cleaner, faster, and undeniably intriguing. Number 1. 7mm Backcountry. Claiming the top spot on our list is a cartridge that's brand new, highly anticipated, and already shaking up the hunting and long-range shooting world. The 7mm Backcountry. This round made its first major appearance at SHOT Show 2025, and it's being positioned as a next-generation solution for hunters and precision shooters who want Magnum-level performance, without the weight, bulk, and punishment of traditional Magnum rifles. So what makes it different? At its core, the 7mm Backcountry is a modern rethink of classic 7mm powerhouses, like the 7mm Remington Magnum and the newer 7mm PRC. The goal wasn't just raw speed, it was efficiency. High velocity, flat trajectories, and excellent terminal performance, all packed into a more compact and practical cartridge. The real advantage shows up in the field. You don't need a full-length Magnum action to get serious long-range capability. That means lighter rifles, smoother recoil, and better control, especially when shots come after hours of climbing, hiking, and carrying gear through rough terrain. On paper, the performance is impressive. Depending on the load, the 7mm Backcountry can send bullets weighing roughly 155 to nearly 195 grains downrange at speeds exceeding 3,000 feet per second. That puts it firmly in true long-range territory, with plenty of retained energy for ethical big-game harvests at extended distances. Ballistically, it shines. Flat trajectories and strong wind resistance give shooters more confidence when conditions aren't perfect, exactly the kind of edge hunters want when making difficult shots in mountainous or open country environments. Of course, this is where excitement turns into debate. The 7mm PRC is still gaining momentum and already has solid industry backing, so it's fair to ask, do we really need yet another 7mm cartridge? Is the Backcountry a true step forward, or just a refined variation of what we already have? The answer comes down to priorities. If your focus is lighter gear, quicker follow-up shots, and a smarter balance between power and efficiency, then the 7mm Backcountry makes a strong argument for itself. That said, there are trade-offs. Being brand new, ammunition prices are high, and rifle options are still limited. Early adopters will definitely pay a premium, and history reminds us that not every hyped cartridge becomes a long-term success. Some burn bright, then quietly fade away. So, who is this round really for? For dedicated backcountry hunters chasing elk, mule deer, or sheep in rugged terrain. The benefits are very real. Cutting weight while keeping Magnum-like reach can make a noticeable difference over long days in the field. For long-range shooters who enjoy stretching steel and exploring the limits of modern ballistics, the 7mm Backcountry offers a fresh and exciting platform with serious potential. But for the average shooter who already owns a 7mm Remington Magnum, a .270, or a 6.5 Creedmoor, it may feel more like a high-end upgrade than a must-have, especially at current prices. In the end, the 7mm Backcountry earns its #1 ranking not just because it's new, but because it represents where modern hunting cartridges are headed. Lighter, more efficient, and designed for real-world performance, not just impressive numbers on a chart. Whether it becomes the next big standard or settles into a respected niche remains to be seen. But right now, there's no question. It's the most exciting new caliber of 2025.